almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
As always, got to kick the show off with a huge shout out to our sponsors over at Prima, best protein bar on the planet. I also want to send a big thank you out to all the people that have been ordering through them. I've noticed a big influx lately. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please reach out to me. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to know, I know they have, this is the variety pack, but they have a lot of different flavors. Me personally, the cookie dough is my favorite, but it's between cookie dough and mocha is my two favorite ones. But yeah, you guys got to check it out. The fight for real food. No bullshit ingredients. Only real good ingredients. No seed oils, which is very important. I cut seed oils out of my diet a long time ago. Never felt better. But yeah, this is the real deal Holyfield right here. Best protein bar on the planet. Check them out. Check the link that is down in the comments. You will get 15% off your very first order. So check them out. Let me know what you guys think. And again, I want to thank Prima, and I want to thank everybody out there that's been piling in and buying them, because I guarantee you guys will not be dissatisfied with this protein bar. This is just something to fill in the gaps. I'm telling you, like during the day when I don't got time to really, make anything to eat, or, I just need some protein. That's what I go to. So before we get started on today's episode, I wanted to go over a few things. One, I've had some people reach out to me, multiple people reach out to me actually, to speak about different ideas for like shows, stuff that they believe light needs shined on that's going on in the conspiracy realm. And I want to let you guys know, I get these type of requests like all the time. If I haven't already done an episode about it, usually, I've done episodes about a lot of different stuff. So message me if it's something you want to know. I can direct you to probably the number episode I did about it. But if I didn't, like, for example, there's a bunch that got sent to me recently by viewers, and I will get into those episodes within the next week or so. Just give me a little bit of time, because usually what I do is I run my programming about 2 weeks out. So for example, if it's going to be interviews or different episodes, I already have my 2-week programming schedule written out. So just bear with me, send your ideas in. I'll be happy to, if it's something that I want to put on the show that I would like to touch on, I definitely will. And honestly, some of the best shows I've done was through viewer recommendations of different topics. So send the topics in if you guys want me to talk about it. I'd be glad to talk about it. Now, today's topic of conversation is one that I hear a lot of people talk about. They ask me my opinion about it. They ask me what it means to me. And it's such a generalized type of discussion and topic, the 2030 agenda. So when people see it, they're like, what exactly is that? Some people have no idea what the 2030 agenda actually is. Now, the 2030 agenda is not make-believe, okay? It's not a conspiracy theory. The people who rule the world, from Trilateral Commission to all these different types of people that actually hold economic and, just generalized power around the world, have agreed, that sit on these boards, that the 2030 agenda is going to be a complete reshaping of the world as you know it. It is not going to look the same from anything that you've ever seen before. It's the type of shit that you see in sci-fi movies that really blows your mind when you really unpack it all and take a look at it. Now, like books I have on my desk that I've read, it reminds me almost in a sense of The Great Reset by Klaus Schwab. It's kind of like what the World Economic Forum's talking about, but there's a lot of different things that goes into it that is not just about what they say it's about. So I think, in all fairness, that's probably the best way to start the show out, is for me to tell you what they're telling you the 2030 agenda is about, for the people that don't know what it is. So, as always, you have no reason to not trust your politicians, right? Your world leaders, they They only have your best interest in mind, right? So they have come together some time ago and decided that they are going to have, a sustainable future that they're going to build for you, that they're going to decide what's good and what's not. From your greenhouse gas emissions to, they want to make sure that they cut down on beef production because they say of CO2 emissions. There's all types of things that's put into this, but it's about a more sustainable future, they say, for you and for the planet. That's what they're trying to pitch to you guys, is this beautiful whole new future that's going to be filled with, smiles and Hallmark cards, and it's just going to be amazing. I mean, but is it ever? Is anything they ever pitch us really sustainable? Is it really ever for the growth of human beings? Or is it for more power, more control, more order for them to rule over you easy? That's really what it is. That's really what it all ends up digressing down to, is these type of orders that they put in place are never to benefit the common man. I mean, let's just be honest. When have they ever passed something that's really benefited the common man? We pay so much money in taxes that our forefathers would be, the founders of this country would be blown away. They'd be like, I don't know how you guys have not revolted by now, especially with, everything that they got going on. They want to shoot you up with stuff, okay, that they have immunity from, so that you can't sue them. They have immunity from being sued, so they can pass laws that benefit them. They don't pass too many laws that benefit you. They pass laws, in my opinion, to enslave us. And history only shows that from the laws they pass. And that's why people need to understand. People still think there's a red and blue. It's the same agenda. Okay, these people are promised things. You say you want to go be a politician, right? If you want to be a politician, I'm sure you can. You just have to do the song and dance that they tell you to do. You're the puppet and they're pulling you on the strings. You just got to do the dance they want you to do and they'll put you in that position. But with this 2030 agenda, what people need to understand is it's really the 1984 agenda. If you guys have not read the book 1984, you need to go read it. Even watch the movie if you want to. Maybe a lot of people are familiar with it, but it's pretty much the total takeover of Big Brother with, war is peace. And that's what we're even seeing now. We're being told that the more war we have, the more peaceful we're going to be. How many times did they pitch that load of shit on us for a very long time? Okay, telling us that war is peace. We just got to go to war with people, and then, sooner or later. So it's like, we've been at war since this country was founded. Okay, when is the war for peace going to end? Does anybody know? We ever going to have that? No, because when we do have that, the Bible's pretty clear about what's coming after that. When they tell you peace and safety, then know that destruction is coming. But what they're trying to do here with this agenda is what it outlines is this. You already see now everybody's losing their minds over this Ford that now got the patent for the truck that is going to be able to tell if you're in distress or certain things wrong with you, and it's going to just completely shut your car off. So you won't be able to drive it. So it's going to decide if you're fit to drive your car. And there's all types of instances that was given that if this actually does go through and they start doing this, you wouldn't believe how ripe for corruption that's going to be. And like they said, and if they do lock your car down, who's the judge, jury, and executioner on that? Who decides when to, reopen that? To unlock your car and say, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and drive. It was a mistake. Because, everything, even machines make mistakes. So what if they make a mistake and lock your car down? You have an emergency. You have to get somewhere. Nope. Got to get on the phone. And what if you don't have your phone? Or you see what I'm saying? It's insane the amount of control that they've slowly started pushing over onto us, and we've accepted it. To now, total control is I've said this before on a show, when total control is implemented on a mass scale, people are going to turn around and wonder, how did that ever happen? How did we ever allow this? And it's like, because I know how we allowed it, because you guys just continued to let them take little bit by little bit by little bit. Like I've always said, the huge CVID pandemic was all for compliance. It was a huge compliance beta test. That's just what I believe. That's my opinion. It was a huge beta test to see who's going to fall in line and who won't. But it was also a huge training for the AI. And that's a big thing. AI is going to have a massive adaptation into this 2030 agenda. Absolutely. Massive adaptation. And think about that. AI drones flying around. I mean, I could paint you guys a picture if you want a simple little picture painted for you to show you what this landscape is going to look like when they finally implement all this. Okay? It's going to be restrictions on everything. They're going to tell you what you can eat, what you can watch. It's almost like that movie, The Island, where they had these people locked up in that center they had, if a rich person needed an organ or whatever, they had their clones over in these centers. But it's almost like that. Like they decided what they could and what they couldn't eat. And they every morning had to take a urine test, and they let them know, oh, you can do this or you can't do that. They're going to have, they have ATMs now. I showed it for the, what they're doing with the Smart Dust. I showed you guys that they already filed that patent years ago. They want to have these type of, and they showed it in that movie with Johnny Depp. Like I said, they always put it in the movies. They showed it in the movie with Johnny Depp, Transcendence, where that thing was wisping around, all right? And you could almost see it, and it was like black, but then it would disappear, and it would go into people and stuff like that. That's what that Smart Dust is. They show you in the movies what this stuff is, and that's essentially what it is. It's like, on a smaller scale, you can't even see these things. You could breathe them in. They could be floating around you and hitting you for biometrics and all types of, data they can be getting from you, retinal scans, all types of shit. But that's what it is. Like the woman who got locked in her neighborhood in China and couldn't leave because it wasn't scanning her retina right. Like her facial scan wasn't going through, so she couldn't leave her neighborhood. It's going to be 1984 on steroids. That's what the 2030 agenda is looking like. And that's why people keep saying, why are these scientists missing? Why are these people missing? Trust me, here's another thing I believe too. If they don't want you guys knowing about it, they're not going to promote it. So the only reason these scientists are being reported that, strange stuff is going on with them, it's not just because of us that's doing it, that's noticing it. They're allowing that to be out there. It's on the news. Fox and Friends did a freaking expose about it. And if the mainstream media is talking about it, it's horseshit. So they want you to think what's going on with these scientists disappearing and make it seem like that's what it is when it really isn't. I'm telling you. And I had people tell me, they're like, why do you think these people are all going underground right now? Why are we looking at celebrities and they're looking weird? Why have I been telling people this for a while now, that I believe there's clones, there's all this stuff out there, and they're essentially packing these people into these bunkers? Well, for one, from people I know that are in the intelligence community, that are in the know, that I do trust what they say, they've already said these people have started to pack into these facilities that are underground. So for one, that's why I believe it. Two, I can see it with my own eyes with how weird these people are starting to look. And then three, you just need to look around at how things are moving faster and faster in one direction. Before it was a slow burn in a sense. Things are moving faster and faster into this all around digital era that they're going to have us in. And like I said, they don't put these things out there without letting you know first what they're going to do. And if you best believe that if we have 4 years for this to be fully optimized and operational by the year 2030, you best believe that it's happening right now as we speak. Like any minute, that switch is going to get flipped. And when that happens, then that's when you have all digital currency. They don't have to argue with you about what you owe or whatever. They just take it right out of your account, your little digital account. And then I've had, for example, I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit on that, because I keep getting people asking me that. Oh, what's this, reset? What's going to happen? Do you think that I'm going to tell you what's going to happen? That's why the banks, they said they're blaming the banks for holding back the Clarity Act from legislation that's going to send crypto to the moon. The banks are positioning themselves right now. That's why you have Trump, okay? If this isn't manipulation, I don't know what is in the markets. Now he's saying, okay, this just was reported yesterday, that he's going to put 100% tariffs on China again. Do you know what that's going to do to your markets? And the markets already started to get liquidated. What was it, a couple days ago? They had massive amounts getting liquidated off the markets. There's a reason for that, because Trump and all of his buddies know what's coming. They're going to make a fortune once it hits the bottom. It's like they said, you will own nothing and you will be happy. It's the same reason they were buying up all this land since 2020. I remember going out and looking at houses, and as soon as you go in there to look at a house to buy it, it was already bought. Oh, and they got a cash offer too. And I'm like, what's going on here? This many people got cash to just buy houses at the prices that I'm looking at them at. Like, people just got, $500,000 sitting around, $600,000 to go buy a house. So it was kind of, blowing my mind that I was like, something doesn't seem right. And then that's when we look at what's going on. Being bought up by Vanguard, by BlackRock, by these big, huge corporations and hedge funds are buying up everything. Because what they're going to do is the way of life is going to become so unaffordable for the average American. What's going to happen is when this whole digital reset happens, when the people who are on the right side of it, okay, and they got in before it all happened, they're going to be the haves. All right. There's going to be the haves and the have-nots. That's simply what they want. Okay. So you'll have a small percentage of people that are going to be wealthy and well off and doing okay. But then you're going to have people that are going to be just straight up struggling. And this is all biblical. I mean, it's already said in the Bible about how, what does it say about what a day's wage will get you? Not much. So we are just tiptoeing closer and closer to that era where they're going to have total control over everything. And I see it. See, when I see the shifts in the currency and the shorts going on and the dollar, all this stuff going on in the markets, that's where, I don't need a crystal ball to tell you guys this. I simply look at the patterns based on what's going on. And that's how I make up my own mind and my opinion on it. But I mean, this has to happen. They know it. It's the only way they have total control. David Rockefeller told Aaron Russo about it. Okay, he told him all about it, and he couldn't believe it when he heard about it. And he went out and told Alex Jones and everybody. He said, "Oh yeah, they, because he said, you got all the money in the world, you got all the power in the world. What else do you guys want?" And he says, "Oh, we want to chip everybody." And at that point, that's biblical. I mean, Elon admits he wants to chip people. He wants to give you guys all a Neuralink. So it's no coincidence that all this is happening. Just like in Transcendence, that's what that movie was about when I did the breakdown of that movie and who was sitting in the audience. And that movie was filmed in like 2012. It was good old Elon sitting right there in the audience, because he's going to be one of the head people with Grok, with, Neuralink, with Starlink. So think about the link. It's they want everything linked. Your bank accounts, your this, your that. Everything's going to be linked, and it's all going to be documented, and it's all going to be controlled in one area where they can find everything about you that they need whenever they need it. It's going to be the best way to rule a population that we've ever seen in history. And people will be absolutely devastated at the fact of you have no control at that point. Absolutely zero control of what is going to unfold. And at this point, like I said, people are like, oh, let's stand up and do something about whatever. I don't know if that's really even, feasible at this point. I really don't know. I don't think that. And I mean, to be honest with you, God already told us that, Revelation, Great Tribulation, these type of days were coming. So Christians just need to stay close to Christ. That's all it is. People want to prepare. You can prepare all you want, but is your soul prepared? That's the real question. Because if your soul ain't prepared, it doesn't matter how much food you got, how much guns you got, how much ammo you got. It ain't going to matter. Make sure your soul is right. That's what I can tell you. Make sure you have a relationship with Jesus Christ and you know him as your Lord and Savior. That's about the most important thing that you can have. That's your armor against anything. And I want to let people know, so this week we have a doubleheader because usually it's every other day I do the show, but tomorrow Tommy Truthful is going to be on. I'll be releasing that around 5 o'clock Eastern, so it'll be, because I'm trying to think for him, because he's on the East Coast. So yeah, so it'll be 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It'll be dropping. We're going to be talking about the April rituals, Beltane, everything that I see coming up, because remember, May Day is the start of it, May 1st. And I'm telling you, with this, especially with this 2030 agenda, people are going to see some real insane shit that's about to go down starting this year. That's what I believe. That's what I see. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think.